So welcome to all of you Shiksha 360. Basically, this is the MCQ session number 4, set number 4, that is related to the chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. Clear? Many of the things basically are interrelated. In this session, basically, we have to discuss 41 to 56 questions. Total 16 questions. Out of that, basically, one is numerical. That is very, very important. That is one student basically I have asked or basically sent this numerical basically last week. Sir, what is how we can understand basically arbitrage? So can you explain basically with one example? So I will discuss one numerical also. Clear? How it benefits, like basically you are borrowing from one country and basically landing in another country. Clear? Basically how you will get to benefit basically with the help of the interest rate. Clear? With the help of the interest rate, we will discuss in this session also. So let's start our discussion. First question is question number 41. CCIL clears and settles. Clear? Basically CCIL basically clears and settles. First one is the repos and CBLOs. Second one is the gilts. Third one is the interbank forex deals. Option number D is all of these. Clear? Option number D is all of this. Clear? First one is basically what is CCIL. Clear? What is CCIL? CCIL basically stands for Clearing Corporation of India. Clear? CCIL basically stands for Clearing Corporation of India. And basically it is an institution. Basically, it is an institution or organization basically created for what purpose? Basically for clearing, as it names as clears, for clearing and settlement. Clear? Basically Clearing Corporation of India. Basically this organization basically created for clearing and settlement of what? Basically repos and CBLOs, gilts, interbank forex deals. Clear? So option number D is the correct answer. That is all of these. Clear? Basically all of these. So option number D is the correct answer here. Now move to the next question, question number 42. So highest amount of deal that the dealer can make, it is called. Clear? There are some terminologies regarding that. So we will discuss all the terminologies one by one basically in this question. So here first point is highest amount of deal that the dealer can make, it is called dealer limit, deal size limit, daylight limit, or counterparty limit. Clear? So basically what is the answer here? So highest amount of deal basically that the dealer can make, basically it is called as basically like basically here they are specifically mentioned regarding the dealer. Clear? Here they are specifically mentioned regarding the dealer. Clear? If they are specifically mentioned regarding the dealer, then basically we will go with the option number A, that is the dealer limit. Clear? And if there is not any mentioning word dealer, then we will go with the option number B. Clear? So I will explain basically both what is the definition. So dealer limit basically what? Maximum amount. Dealer limit is what? Basically maximum amount a dealer can expose. Maximum amount a dealer can expose. A dealer can keep exposure. Clear? Not exposure. EXPOSURE. Exposure during the operating hours. Clear? Or during the operating hours or business hours. That is basically known as the dealer limit. Clear? Highest amount of deal that the dealer can make. Clear? That the dealer can make. Clear? Now what is deal size limit? In this basically you will not find any word dealer. Clear? Deal size limit basically it is the highest amount. Highest amount for which a deal can be entered. Clear? Basically for which a deal can be entered. That is basically known as the deal size limit. Clear? That is basically known as the deal size limit. Here their word specifically mention the word that is dealer. That's why basically we will include here the dealer limit. Clear? That's why basically we will include here the dealer limit. Clear? So there is a difference between the two. Clear? One is the dealer limit. Second one is the deal size limit. Clear? Third one is the daylight limit. Clear? Third one is the daylight limit. Clear? So what is the daylight limit? Daylight limit basically it is a maximum amount of open position or exposure. Clear? Basically it is a maximum amount of open position or exposure. Clear? It is a maximum amount of open position or exposure the bank can expose itself. Clear? The bank can expose itself during the day. Clear? Basically the bank can expose itself at any time. Expose itself basically at any time during the day. Clear? At any time during the that is basically known as the daylight limit. Clear? Daylight limit. Clear? And last one is the basically counterparty limit. That is basically maximum amount that a bank can expose itself to a particular counterparty. Clear? Maximum amount that a bank can expose itself basically to a particular counterparty. That is basically known as the counterparty limit. Clear? So I request to all of you, please remember all these limits. Clear? Very, very important for the examination point of view. Clear? Hope all these points are clear to all of you regarding these four limits. Now move to the next question. Clear? So this is a very tricky based question. Clear? Like here they specifically mentioned the word dealer. Clear? Basically you will find that in the examination we will go with option number B, and we seen that basically it is correct. Clear? But there is a very little difference between both the things. Now move to the next question, question number 43. Interest rate futures were introduced in, clear, basically interest rate futures basically were introduced first time basically in which year? 1970, 1975, 1980 and 1983. So basically what is the correct answer? Interest rate futures basically were first introduced in basically in the 1975. Clear? In the 1975. Clear? So option number B is the answer, that is 1975. And one more question basically. When was the world first exchange? When was the world's first exchange traded currency future contract? Clear? Basically when was the world's first exchange traded currency future contract? That is basically in the year 1970. Clear? Basically when was it? 1970. And basically it was introduced by which exchange? Clear? And it was introduced by which exchange? Clear? When was the world first exchange traded currency future contract? Basically 1970. It is basically in 1970, and it was introduced by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Clear? Basically it was introduced by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Clear? So I request to all of you, please remember both these points. Clear? Please remember both these points. This one is very, very important. This one is clear. Both basically we can say that basically theory based questions. Clear? Now move to the next question, which we have discussed at least 7 to 8 times. Clear? In the session also basically this point I have discussed at least 7 to 8 times. Also basically this is also one of the memory based question. Clear? Previous year question we can say that of the examination. Clear? One of the favorite question of this chapter of the IIBF. Clear? Settlement risk basically may be described as temporal risk, operational risk, foreign currency risk, liquidity risk. Clear? So settlement risk basically can be described as or may be described as temporal risk, operational risk, foreign currency risk, or liquidity risk. Clear? So option number A is the answer, that is temporal risk. Clear? Option number A is the answer, that is temporal risk. So option number A is the answer here. Now move to the next question. What type of risk out of the following is taken care of by RTGS? Clear? Or yes, this is also known as a Hurst risk. Clear? Sometimes basically you will find that the Hurst risk also in the options. Clear? So please remember both the things. Now move to the next question. What type of risk basically out of the following is taken care of by the RTGS? Clear? Basically real time gross settlement. Clear? That is first is basically what type of risk basically out of the following is taken care. Clear? Basically which of the risks are to be eliminated by the RTGS? Clear? Basically which of the following risks are to be eliminated by the RTGS? Clear? Settlement risk in the option number first is true. Operational risk, as there is not anything. Liquidity risk, no. We know that basically RTGS, that is settlement risk. It is a one. So either basically we will go with the option number A or C. Clear? Basically here they are word operational, so this one is not. So settlement risk and systematic risk. Clear? Settlement risk and systematic risk. Clear? So option number C is the answer here. Clear? Option number C is the answer here. That is the settlement risk and the systematic risk. Clear? Settlement risk and the systematic risk. Now move to the next question, question number 46. Ever since the US introduced a free float for the US dollar in March 1973. Clear? Basically in March 1973, following the collapse of, clear, basically free float. Earlier basically there is fixed exchange rate, now basically there is free float. That is changed with respect to the time. Clear? Ever since the US introduced a free float for the US dollar in March 1973, following the collapse of the fixed exchange rate regime. Clear? Basically, following the collapse of fixed exchange rate regime. Basically, it is known as Chicago Mercantile Exchange, Philadelphia Stock Exchange, Chicago Woods Exchange, or Bretton Woods. Clear? Or basically Bretton Woods. Clear? Of fixed exchange rate regime. Clear? That fixed exchange rate regime, basically it is known as. Clear? That fixed exchange rate regime, basically it is known as. That is basically known as the Bretton Woods. Clear? That is basically known as the Bretton Woods. Clear? So option number D is the answer. Clear? That fixed exchange regime. Clear? That fixed exchange regime, basically it is known as the Bretton Woods. Clear? Mercantile, basically this is the first exchange that is introduced basically in 1970. World first exchange traded currency future contract. Clear? And Philadelphia basically stock exchange basically in 1983. Basically the derivative markets. Clear? Basically saw further growth with the currency options. Clear? Basically in this exchange. Clear? Basically in this exchange. Clear? That is basically growth with the currency options in 1983. Clear? Basically in this exchange. Clear? So the correct answer basically of this question is to be option number D, that is Bretton Woods. Clear? That is Bretton Woods. Fixed exchange rate regime, basically it is known as the Bretton Woods. Now move to the next question, question number 47. Very easy question, just you have to carefully understand basically what they want to say here. Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, clear, BCBS, was formed in 1974. This was triggered by a Herstatt incident that is basically happened in the Germany. Herstatt incident basically refers to liquidation of Bank Herstatt in Frankfurt basically by the German authorities, or option number B is losses incurred by other bank in Herstatt bank incident, as the counter deliveries basically did not take place due to the time zone differences. The riots in Herstatt, German led to financial losses. Clear? There is basically anything basically we have discussed regarding the C point, that there is any riots in the Herstatt, German leading to financial losses. Clear? So this one is totally wrong. So according to that, option number D is also wrong. Clear? So the correct answer is basically option number B, that is losses incurred by the other bank in Herstatt bank incident. That is basically, this incident basically happens due to the time zone differences. Clear? The main reason that is basically due to the time zone differences. Settlement basically will not take place on the time. Clear? So option number B is the correct answer, that is losses incurred by other bank in Herstatt bank incident, as the counter deliveries basically did not take place due to the time zone differences. Clear? So option number B is the answer here. Clear? Option number B is the answer here. Now move to the next question, question number 48. Which, that is, they can be used as, clear, basically we consider which instruments. Clear? They can be used as hedging instruments. Clear? Basically they can be used as hedging instruments, or also we can say that basically for the speculative trading. Clear? Basically they can be used as hedging instruments, or as also for the speculative trading. Clear? Option number A is derivatives, option number B is option number C is swap, option number D is future. Clear? So the correct answer here of this question is to be option number A, that is derivatives. Clear? Because all B, C and D are the parts of the derivatives. Clear? Are the parts of the derivatives. Clear? Basically they can be also used as the hedging instruments, or also for the speculative trading. Clear? So option number A is the answer, that is derivatives. Clear? Option number A is the answer, that is derivatives. Now move to the next question. Currency option trading. Clear? Currency option trading. Clear? I have already discussed this. Currency option trading was first introduced in, clear, basically was first introduced in basically in which year? 1970. Clear? In 1970. Clear? Basically it was first introduced basically in 1970. It further growth in 1984. Clear? In 1983, sorry, with this exchange. Clear? Further growth basically with this exchange, and it was first introduced basically in the 1970 basically by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Clear? So option number A is the answer. Basically it was first introduced basically by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and in 1983 basically it shows further growth basically with the Philadelphia Stock Exchange. Clear? Philadelphia Stock Exchange. Clear? Now move to the next question, question number 50. Normally limits on the Forex daylight positions of a bank are dashed and the overnight position. Clear? Normally limits on the Forex daylight position. Clear? That is a limit on the daylight position, that is daytime position of a bank are basically than the overnight position, lower than, higher than, equal to, half to. So normally basically limits on the Forex daylight position of a bank basically are higher than the overnight position. Clear? So option number B is the answer, that is higher than the overnight position. Clear? So option number B is the answer here. Now move to the next question, question number 51. Clear? So basically this is a fill-up based type question. Clear? There are 4 questions, we can say that, or we have to find out basically from the option which one is the correct answer. Clear? Which one is the correct answer? Clear? This is the first point basically we have discussed in the part 1 of the chapter 2. So a risk can be defined as dash event, foreseen or unforeseen. Clear? Because we have only 2 options in that, foreseen or unforeseen. Please tell fast. Clear? So basically a risk can be defined, it is an unforeseen. Clear? That is basically we can say which we will not expect. It is an unforeseen event. Clear? Basically it is an unforeseen event. So that is option number A is not our answer. Either option number B, either option number C, or either option number D. Clear? So now we will go with the second option. Second point. Movement in exchange rates can adversely affect the dash of our foreign exchange holdings. Clear? Movement in exchange rates can adversely affect the dash of our foreign exchange holdings. Clear? That is, if they will can adversely affect the movement, no. Basically, they can adversely affect the value. Clear? That is value. Earlier, basically $1 is, we can say that 70. Now it is 68. Clear? So basically what will happen, that is there is a change in the value. Clear? That is there is a change in the value. Clear? So movement in exchange rates basically can adversely affect the value of our foreign exchange holdings. Clear? Basically they can affect the value of our foreign exchange holdings. Clear? So option number B is the answer here. Clear? That is value. So I will left 2 points basically for you so that you can go through. Clear? Answer here is option number B is the correct answer, because in any other option there is not any word that is value. Clear? So we will go with the option number B. It is the correct answer. Clear? Now move to the next question, question number 52. Placement of RTGS by RBI is basically to mitigate which of the risk? Clear? Placement of RTGS basically by the RBI is basically to mitigate which risk, which of the risk? Collection, payment, settlement, operational. Clear? That is correct answer is option number C. That is basically to eliminate the operation settlement risk. Clear? Basically to eliminate the settlement risk. Option number C is the answer. That is settlement risk. Now this is very, very important. Clear? How the arbitrage plays their important role. Clear? Now we will understand this question. So please listen carefully. And I request all of you, please try to solve this question also. So here what they say that, clear? First of all, we have to understand the question. Spot rate $1 is equal to 47.7123. 180 days forward rate basically for the US dollar, that is 48.6690. Interest rate in India is 12% per annum. Interest rate in US it is 8% per annum. And arbitrager, clear? Basically what they will do, basically they take a loan of 40 lakh from Indian bank from 6 months, for 6 months, and goes for the arbitrage, that is basically invest that money in the US. So what is his gain or loss? Clear? What is his gain or loss? And we will take that basically 1 year is equal to 360 days. Clear? So first of all, basically how much money the person takes loan of rupees 40 lakh. So basically, and $1 basically present spot rate, it is equal to 47.712. So how many dollars basically it become? First of all, basically we have to find that basically how many dollars it will become. So 40 lakh divided by 47.7123. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Divided by 47.7123. So basically we will get here how many dollars? That is 83,835.82 dollar. Clear? This much dollar basically we will get here. Clear? Basically this much dollar basically we will get here. Clear? 83,835.82 dollars. Clear? And how much interest basically the person will earn on the dollar, that is 8%. Clear, that is 8%. I will move toward the next. So how much dollars basically the person have? I will write here, that is how much dollar? $83,835.82. Clear. So now that person basically invests that amount basically in US for 6 months. I will show you basically in the end basically how they will earn the benefit. Interest rate in US 8%. So they will get basically interest rate in US basically 8%. Clear. So basically how much interest? 83835.82 into 8 upon 100 into 180 days upon 360 days. Clear. Because they will invest the amount basically for 6 months. Clear. Because for 6 months. Clear. They will take the amount basically for the 6 months. So 180 upon 360, 1 upon 2. So 1, 4. So just what we have to do, 83835.82 into 4 divided by 100. So this much is the interest basically they will get 3353.4328. So how much amount, total amount it will become? This much plus this much we have to add, plus 83835.82. So we will get here basically how much dollars, that is $87,189.25. Clear. This much dollars basically they have in their hand basically after the 6 months. Clear. After the 6 months basically the person have this much dollars basically in their hand. $87,189.25. Now we know that basically after 6 months, what is the forward rate for the US dollar? This much. Forward rate basically for the dollar basically it is this much. So now basically we will convert basically how many rupees? Clear. Because we have to find the benefit or gain. Clear. Basically in the rupees. Clear. We are in the rupees. So we will find that basically how many dollars? 87,189.25 into multiply, because we have to find it in a rupees. Clear. Multiply by 4848.6690. Clear. So basically how much amount basically we will find here? Basically 42,43,413 rupees 0.745 paisa. Clear. 0.745 paisa. This much is the amount basically the person have in their hands basically after 6 months. And basically from the Indian bank basically how much they have borrowed? From the Indian bank basically the person how much they have borrowed? That is 40 lakh. 40 lakh that person basically borrow, and how much interest they have to pay? 12%. So we will find out basically 40 into 12 upon 100 into 180 upon 360. 1216. So basically after calculating we will get that 2,40,000 basically they have to pay to the Indian bank as interest. Clear. So they will buy this one. Clear. And how much they have to pay back? 42,40,000 they have to pay back. Clear. And how much they have amount basically in their hand? This one is 42,43,413 rupees. Clear. So now we will find that basically it is basically more than. This is 40,000. This is 43. There is a benefit of 3,000. 3,413 rupees. Clear. 3,413 rupees. Clear. Approximately this one is the answer. Clear. Option number A is the answer. That is gain to the arbitrage basically of rupees 34,000. Sorry, 3,414 rupees. Clear. 3,414 rupees. Just basically we have to take the difference between of this one and this one. Clear. This one 42 same it is. Just 4 it is same. So basically 3143.745 basically we will approximate 3,414 rupees. Clear. This one is the answer. So please tell fast. Now this point is clear to all of you or not? Please respond fast. How basically it will show, basically it will help you basically gain the benefit. Clear. With the help of the differential in interest rate. Clear. Differential in interest rate. Clear. Till now basically you have gone through these types of question basically, like basically there is a benefit that is basically arbitrager, clear, that person is known as the arbitrager, basically taking money from one country and sending in other country or lending in other country, clear, by the difference in the interest rate, clear till now. But I think basically you have not gone through any numerical of this type of question, clear. In the examination, basically you will get this type of case study also, clear, nothing typical, just they are asking like this one, what is the value, how much interest there is, clear, and what is the gain, clear. There are 4 to 5 questions will be formed on single question. So please ask if you have any doubt, any query regarding this specific question. Please respond if you have any doubt, any query, any question regarding that, so that I will explain you again. Otherwise, basically we'll move forward to the next question, clear. Now move forward to the next question. Question number 54. A kind of the credit risk, clear, basically which of the following, basically it is a type of the credit risk, clear. So first one is the settlement risk. Option number B is liquidity risk. Option number C is country risk. Option number D is sovereign risk, clear. Option number D is a sovereign risk, clear. Basically which of the following it is the type of the credit risk, clear. Basically it is the type of the credit risk. Credit risk basically means that basically we want money, but we will get not money on the time, clear. Basically what we will get not money on the time, clear. Basically we want money, but we will not get money on the time, clear. So that is basically we can say that the settlement risk, clear. That is basically we can say that the settlement risk, clear. Like we can say that basically we are sending money to one from our account to the other person, clear, but our money basically will not goes to the other person. That is basically leads to the credit. Let's not sufficient fund, that is basically due to the settlement, that is settlement risk, clear. So a kind of the credit risk basically it is also comes under the settlement risk, clear. A kind of the credit risk, that is basically settlement risk, clear, settlement risk. So please remember, clear, definitely you will find this point basically on the page number 42 of the book, clear. A kind of the credit risk basically it is settlement risk, clear. It is settlement risk, clear. There are basically keywords. In keywords, basically they are explaining all these points like liquidity risk. What is liquidity risk? Basically it is a funding risk, clear. It is a funding risk. We will discuss all these points in the module B. Settlement risk, basically it is a credit risk. Country risk, basically it is a risk associated with the problem countries, clear. It is a risk basically associated with the problem countries. Sovereign risk, clear. Basically it is a subcategory of, country risk, clear. Basically it is a subcategory of country risk and arises on account of sovereign entities, clear, and arises on account of sovereign entities. Clear. So I request to all of you, please remember all these risks. That is settlement risk, basically it is a kind of the credit risk. Liquidity risk, basically it is a type of the funding risk. Country risk, basically it is a risk associated basically with the problem countries. Like sometimes basically there is a war in any country, that is country risk. And sovereign risk, basically it is a subcategory of the country risk and arise basically on the account of sovereign entities, clear, and arise basically on the account of sovereign entities, clear. So in this session, basically we have to discuss one question more, that is question number 55, clear. The benefit accruing to the traders who play in different markets simultaneously, because markets are imperfect, clear. It is basically called as, then that person basically it is called as hedgers, speculators, arbitrage or none, clear. Arbitrage or none, clear. Hedgers, speculators, arbitrage or none, clear. So what is the correct answer? That is option number C, that is the arbitrage. Option number C is the correct answer, that is the arbitrage, clear. So in this session, basically we have to discuss up to this much point. Hope it will give you little bit idea regarding what type of question basically they will ask from the chapter number 2, clear. And 1 or 2 questions basically we have discussed from the chapter number 1 also, clear. In the next session, basically we will take more discussion on the chapter number 2 numericals or some other theory based questions, clear. In the next session also, basically we will discuss 15 questions, basically among that basically we will discuss 2 to 3 numericals, clear, so that you are familiar with all types of questions. And in the next session, basically after that, I will provide you some memory based questions also, clear. Side by side, basically we will discuss so that we are able to understand what type of different questions they will ask in the examination, clear. So thanks to all of you for attending this session. Hope all of you are able to understand all the points what we have discussed in our today's session. And I request to all of you, please go through the sessions basically provided in your Telegram group so that you are able to answer the question correctly. Clear? Basically, if at any point basically you will find issue. So thanks to all of you for joining this session.